So hello and welcome back to the channel, and today obviously I'm gonna be the host for this, and obviously I had to bring Renk on because we're doing the semi-final first leg and second leg predictions for the Libertadores and Sudamericana. Obviously check out the streams we did yesterday, obviously the early one and then the late one. Of course the quiz, go guys and check that quiz out because it was very fun to do. Hopefully we do it next time. But yeah, so today is gonna be this stream, and obviously tomorrow I might do two streams actually. I'm not decided what the second one is. Then let's just begin with the first leg. So we're gonna go for the two legs. Actually, predict for the first leg here. I think Quito gets a draw, 1-1 draw. I think he's finishing in a 1-1 draw. And then defensive winner 2-0 at home. So what's your prediction for these two games, Quito against Defensa?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because Liga de Quito surprised me. I did not expect them to beat Sao Paulo like that in the last round. And they actually put up a great performance both home and away. And yeah, I feel like they could potentially do something. I was writing them off before. Now I feel like they are a very solid team. They have some very good players and they play under a system that suits them. Defensa Justicia has been looking fantastic. I feel like Defensa probably has been playing the best football in Argentina at the moment out of any club. So this is going to be a very interesting tie. It's going to be very back and forth. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of chances. The goalkeepers will have to be on their day. And yeah, at home, I trust Quito to probably get a result. I can see because the way they pressed against Sao Paulo in the first leg was super good. I'm going to go Quito to win 1-0 at home, and then Defensa to win 3-1 in the second leg and make the comeback.
You know what? That's a good prediction, actually. So I know which prediction. So the next two games, Fortaleza away at Corinthians. Oh crap! You know, I think I said this. I think Fortaleza is a team where they usually score a lot of goals. Like if you see versus Mineiro, they scored 5 goals in 2 legs, and then they really up and down with the scoring. In my opinion, I reckon Corinthians win the first leg. I think they win 2-1, and then I think Fortaleza win 3-1 in the second leg. So I think my final prediction for the Sudamericana is, if I get this correctly, it's going to be Defensa against Fortaleza. What's your predictions for these two matchup or these two games, basically?
So yeah, Corinthians and Fortaleza are two teams that started off slow this season, but they've slowly been improving. Corinthians last night won a huge game against Botafogo to push them higher up on the table. And Fortaleza, they've been looking good. Fortaleza have been doing a great job for a while now. They are starting to find their form. Like you said, they like to score a lot of goals. And these two teams actually played against each other 2 weeks ago, I think, and Fortaleza won with a last-minute winner. So it was like a very close game that Fortaleza managed to, get the win on.
It was 4th minute, Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu, not the Pokemon, but the player. It's going to be super interesting. I see that at home, Corinthians is going to put a better fight. I feel like Corinthians is a defensive team while Fortaleza is an attacking team. In the first leg, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And in the second leg, Fortaleza is going to win 2-0. So I have the same final as you. I think it's going to be Defensa y Justicia against Fortaleza.
So the 5 last games, Lucero has scored 4 goals in 5 games. Really? Is this how he's doing?
It's the goat.
I reckon actually he scores what did you predict?
I predicted 1-1 in the first leg, and the second leg 2-0 for Fortaleza.
You know what? I reckon Lucero scores in both legs, actually. I think he does. Because if you're coming with this form, like 4 goals in 5 games, I think you get more confident. Plus, it's a game where, I think Fortaleza can win this. Because they've been performing really well against Corinthians recently. Obviously, 1-1 draw away in the last game they played in Corinthians home stadium. Obviously, 2-1 the last game, obviously. Yeah, so we both will have Fortaleza Defensa in the final prediction. And you know what? If that final happens, I might be up for watch along for that one, actually, because that would be very interesting. 2 teams that are, I think if that final happens, I think they're good penalties. But that's for the Sudamericana one. Next, we're going for Renk. You know how I love it. You know how I love this competition, especially with the only team that I love from this competition is still left in this. I really like Boca, to be honest. Great club, great fan base. It's not because of the Swedish colors. It's not. There's something about this Boca club that I don't know. It's something that they're my favorite, second favorite team in South America, actually. And I mean, you know what? This calls for a madness that Sebastian is doing. Crazy predictions. Boca wins the first leg 4-3. Hopefully you don't get a heart attack watching that game. And then I'll go for a 2-2 draw. So I have Boca advancing to the final. So you win 4-3 and then 2-2 away. So what's your prediction?
Well, my initial prediction is that Boca, it's completely impossible that we score 4 goals in a single game. I don't see that happening, honestly. Our goal scoring form has not been the best. Sure, we won our last game 3-0, but it was a very easy game. It's going to be super interesting because, at home in La Bombonera, things changes. This team plays a lot different. It's very much fluid. The team plays a lot better when we have our crowd, which is like so powerful and so important for when this team plays. I'm super scared because the team is in a pretty inconsistent state. There are matches where we look very good and matches where we look very bad, and it's all because Almiron is always changing the starting 11. He's not keeping the same players on the pitch for the next game. It's always changing, and they don't get any chemistry, and that's really bad. We have good players. We play good football sometimes. When we are playing good, I feel like we can compete against Palmeiras. But if we're having a bad day, I feel like there's no chance for us. So it's going to be very difficult. I'm super nervous. I'm super stressed. I
just seen your lineup against Central Cordoba. That if you start that team, you will lose at least 3 now.
Yeah, that was a bit of a a second team, I would say, because like there was no Cavani, there was no Barco, there was no Advíncula. The center backs are not the same. It's neither Figal or Rojo. So like the team against Palmeiras is going to be very difficult, but I want to see like players from that Central Cordoba game, like Blondel. I want him to play. Ceballos, I want him to play. So
you play against Lanús in a few hours, actually. 3
yes,
hours.
we play a game in a few hours. So that's gonna be very interesting.
Do you think you should? Obviously, I have zero clue what game that is. It's probably it's the League Cup. Do you think you should play second team? Because I think that's not important. The most important is the game against Palmeiras, which is in a few. It's on Friday.
I don't think we should rest players because we already gave players a rest against Central Cordoba. Like now, I feel like the first team needs to play against Lanús, get some chemistry, play together, and be match fit for the game against Palmeiras. The game against Palmeiras is in 5 days. Like that's plenty of time to rest after this game.
Don't forget after the Palmeiras home game, you actually have River at home in 2 days after, I believe. So it's gonna be very tough. I don't really like when it's close. Like, for example, if Coco was when Coco was in the Libertadores quarterfinals in 2018, we had like a game, and then we had the Palmeiras game actually, and then on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, but like put yourself in this situation. Like you play again in Copa Libertadores, and then on the weekend you have to play Universidad de Chile. Do you rest players against them? Because you don't want to lose against your rivals. But do you rest players?
We would probably destroy them with our C team, to be honest. Like that's how bad they are. Legit. And if we play at home, play a strong lineup, because we can't lose at home versus them. We can't. That streak, it would be the saddest moment if that streak ends. So I can't have that streak ends. 23 years next year. Obviously, it's still 22 years. We haven't lost to them at home.
Wow.
For example, next, let's say next year we have like, let's say Colo against Flamengo in semi-final. No, not that I don't think we will be that far. But let's just see if Colo makes that far, and then we have like Católica or Universidad de Chile in behind the game. I would probably play like a mixture in the league game, and then play full strength in both games versus Boca, Palmeiras, or whoever we play against. So I would probably play a mix. So if I were Boca, I would play a mixed team, but you play the best players on the bench, and then you can sub them on for like fitness wise, and then start them against Palmeiras. What's your predictions for these two games, Palmeiras, Boca? Obviously, that's what we're always waiting for, basically.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm getting 2020 vibes on this one. I feel like a bit of a deja vu. I have a bad feeling about this one. So I'm going to say that the first leg, it's going to be a 0-0 draw. And the second leg, it's going to be a 3-0 win for Palmeiras.
Well, why did you say the 0-0 and 3-0 Palmeiras? Oh, Christ alive. Don't remind me of 2020. That was a crap year where Coco finished fourth in the group with absolute Peñarol, who got 0 points. Oh, you know what? I won't be shocked if that happens, because I think Palmeiras is probably the best team in South America. right now. Who did they play? So they lost against Grêmio 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who is a fan of Gremio, and like I asked him like how was the game and how did Palmeiras play, and he said no, Palmeiras are still really good. Like we scored an early goal and then they kept possession like the whole time, and we just defended. So like Palmeiras were very unlucky to not win that game. So yeah, like
So
I don't think Palmeiras is getting any worse.
this is your so basically 2010 you beat them 2-0 in a friendly and it was away. That's crazy. Winning against Palmeiras away. That's pretty. That's pretty amazing to do. Really. Not a lot of teams have done it in the Libertadores. So you drew in the group stages in 2018. If Boca just beat Palmeiras twice that year, we probably would not have gone Palmeiras in the quarterfinals, or we probably would not. And then 2018. What? Oh yeah,
Yeah, because in
semifinal.
2018 we played them again in the semifinals and we beat them. You know who scored the 2 goals in La Bombonera and another one in Brazil?
Yes, Benedetto. If he does it again, I'm sorry. If he does it again, we all have to say sorry to him.
You know what Boca fans were doing, like because during this season Benedetto like let his hair grow a bit, and like everyone was telling him, Benedetto, go bald again, because like you were bald when you showed up against Palmeiras, so go bald again. And he went bald last week. He's bald again, so Prime Benedetto is back.
Yeah, it's over. It's over, Palmeiras. It's over. If Benedetto sends out Palmeiras, that would be the funniest thing to happen this year. I don't care if.
Imagine, like it's Cavani. He goes for like 70 minutes. Benedetto comes off the bench and scores a brace. Imagine,
Bro, yeah, like 2018, where he's for 84th and 88th. But you know what? You guys had a different team back then. Like, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, like Lampe plays now for Bolivia. And
I don't think Lampe played a single minute for Boca when he was here.
Palmeiras have literally the same team as
They still have Ronnie. They still have, who was this? Gustavo Gomez.
So they still have Weverton, Gomez, Luan, Mike. They don't have Bruno Enrique. Neither Melo. Interesting, Melo plays against the Internacional. So they still have
Isn't Bruno Enrique at Inter as well?
Yeah, he is there. And then
so like Bruno and Felipe Melo are like playing against each other.
They don't have Borja, and that's, I think, it's the key.
Borja is at River, so like we're gonna play him on the weekend.
Yeah, like, it's gonna be interesting. It's crazy, but they have Hendrik. Hendrik is very good. They have Abel Ferreira. I think is he a better coach than what Palmeiras had? I don't know who was the Palmeiras.
Yeah, I think it is better. Yeah.
Yeah, like they have some good. I won't be surprised if Hendrik goes and scores a hat trick or something. I won't be surprised at all. But let's move into the next game, the next game. So, Fluminense at home against Internacional, and then obviously second. You know what? I think Fluminense wins the home leg 3-1, and then it finished 2-2 in the second leg. So, what's your prediction for this game?
So this is a very interesting tie. In my opinion, it's a bit of a clash of styles because Fluminense are like the free-flowing attacking football on transition, very quick, and Internacional are a bit more pragmatic, a bit more defensive, and they take their chances in the counter-attack. So I really like this game because it's like that. It's a game of contrast. Both have their playing styles and both have fantastic players. We also have two of the best strikers of this competition in Germán Cano and Ener Valencia playing up against each other. I feel like Fluminense, like I said, probably played the better style of football and probably even has the better players across the pitch. But I feel like this reminds me a bit too much of Manchester City in like 2021, where they are playing super good football, but being like too loyal to that structure, not being like super stubborn, not being allowed to change. I feel like it's going to come back to bite them. I feel like Fluminense not being able to adapt to the situation is going to be bad for them. And Internacional, they have the X factor. They have an amazing goalkeeper in Rochet, an amazing striker in Ener Valencia. We saw that Real Madrid also won the Champions League with a good goalkeeper and a good striker. That's all you need. So I feel like, Fluminense not being able to adapt is going to be super bad for them. And Inter is like going to catch them with their pants down, basically. So I'm going to say it's a 1-1 draw in the first leg and Inter win 2-1 in the second leg. So like I have Palmeiras Inter as my final.
Yeah, so this is our finalists. So in the Sudamericana, obviously we have we have the same defense against Fortaleza. Hopefully that happens. And then for the Libertadores, I have Boca against Fluminense, and you have Palmeiras against Internacional. So that's been it. So I will see you all for the recap of the semifinals. When is the semi and one on Wednesday. Celta is winning 2-1. So after the second leg, not directly after, because we'll probably do the recap of the semifinals 8th of October. So 8th of October, it's 7th October actually, because that's a Saturday. It is 7th of October. If there's any, maybe we're doing that. It's most likely gonna be the Saturday, the 7th. So thank you people for watching. Go and check out the hello Matt, hello. Go and check out the quiz yesterday that we did. Was it me, AD, Renk, and Matt, and then was the earlier stream. Let's see when the next stream is. Obviously tomorrow, the match reaction, and then let's see what happens this upcoming week. Because there will be some interesting games. Goodbye, people, and see you next time, I guess.